The Eyalet of Rumeli, Rumelia, also known as the Beylerbeylik of Rumeli, was a first-level province of the Ottoman Empire encompassing most of the Balkans. For most of its history it was also the largest and most important province of the empire. The capital was in Adrianople, Sofia, and finally Monastir. Its reported area in the 19th century was 48,119 square miles. History. The first Beylerbey of Rumelia was Lala Shahan Pasha, who was awarded the title by Sultan Murad I as a reward for his capture of Adrianople in the 1360s, and given military authority over the Ottoman territories in Europe, which he governed effectively as the Sultan's deputy while the Sultan returned to Anatolia. From its foundation, the province of Rumelia, initially termed Beylerbeylik or generically Vilayet, only after 1591 was the term Eyalet used, encompassed the entirety of the Ottoman Empire's European possessions, including the Trans-Danubian conquests like Achaemen, until the creation of further islets in the 16th century, beginning with the archipelago, Budan and Bosnia. The first capital of Rumelia was probably Adrianople, which was also, until the fall of Constantinople in 1453, the Ottomans' capital city. It was followed by Sofia for a while and again by Adrianople until 1520, when Sofia became the definite seat of the Beylerbey. At the time, the Beylerbey of Rumelia was the commander of the most important military force in the state in the form of the Timuriid Sipahi cavalry, and his presence in the capital during this period made him a regular member of the Imperial Council. For the same reason, powerful head viziers like Mahmud Pasha and Jalavich Pagali Ibrahim Pasha held the Beylerbeylik in tandem with the Grand Vizierate. In the 18th century, Monastir emerged as an alternate residence of the governor, and in 1836, it officially became the capital of the Eyalet. At about the same time, the Tanzimat reforms, aimed at modernizing the empire, split off the new islets of Uskub, Jania and Selanik and reduced the Rumelia Eyalet to a few provinces around Monastir. The Rump Eyalet survived until 1867, when, as part of the transition to the more uniform Vilayet system, it became part of the Salonika Vilayet government. Organization of the Eyalet in the 17th century. From the accounts of Evliya Çelebi, Rumeli has two defterdas, one of the treasury office and of the feudal tenures, a kefaya of Çavuşes, an inspector of the defter, a kefaya of the defter, and a libeg, a sheribashi of Oynakarga, and 7 yarig begs. Governors. The first Beylerbey of Rumelia was Lala Shahan Pasha, the Lala of Murad-i Murtaz Beg, Mustafa Bey, Halil Pasha, Falzula Pasha, Safi Betan Pasha, Kasım Pasha, Hadim Suleiman Pasha, Sokolu Mehmet Pasha, Batef Pasha, Osman Yegan Pasha, Sari Ahmed Pasha, Topal Osman Pasha, Hadzi Mustafa Pasha, Veli Pasha. Administrative divisions. A list dated to 1475 lists 17 subordinate Sanjabis who controlled sub-provinces as Sanjaks, which also functioned as military commands. 1520s. Another list, dating to the early reign of Suleiman the Magnificent, lists the Sanjabis of that period, in approximate order of importance. The Sinjin, Musulman Kirkali's and Voynaks were not territorial circumscriptions, but rather represented merely a Sanjabi appointed to control these scattered and often nomadic groups, and who acted as the commander of the military forces recruited among them. The Pasha Sanjak in this period comprised a wide area in western Macedonia, including the towns of Uskub, Pirlipe, Manastir and Kesriya. A similar list compiled c. 1534 gives the same Sanjaks, except for the absence of Sofia, Florina and Anibati, and the addition of Selanik. Further Sanjaks were removed with the progressive creation of new eyalets, and an official register c. 1644 records only 15 Sanjaks for the Rumelia Eyalet. The administrative division of the Beylerbeylik of Rumeli between 1700 to 1730 was as follows: early 19th century Sanjaks in the early 19th century, mid-19th century according to the State Yearbook of the year 1847, the reduced Rumelia Eyalet, centered at Monastir, encompassed also the Sanjaks of Iskandar, Ohri and Kesari. In 1855, according to the French traveller A. Viquenel, it comprised the Sanjaks of Iskandar, with 7 kazis as sub-provinces, Ohri with 8 kazis, Kesari with 8 kazis and the Pasha Sanjak of Monastir with 11 kazis. Territorial evolution. Wholly or partly annexed to the Eyalet Byzantine Empire, Second Bulgarian Empire, gradually conquered by the Ottomans in the late 14th early 15th century. Lordship of Prelep, annexed in 1395. Serbian Despotate, conquered by the Ottomans in 1459. Kingdom of Bosnia, annexed in 1463. Despotate of Dobrija, Gazaria, annexed in 1475. Principality of Theodoro, annexed in 1475. Created from the Eyalet of the archipelago. Kefir Eyalet, Bosnia Eyalet, Silistrana Eyalet, Ioannina Eyalet. Principality of Serbia. In 1836, Rumelia was partitioned between 3 new eyalets, Salonika Edian and the Rumelia Eyalet around Monastir. Bibliography. Korovich, Vladimir. Istria Srpska Naroda Ars Libri. Retrieved December 7, 2012. Agustin Gabor. Masters Bruce eds. Encyclopedia of the Ottoman Empire. New York, New York. Facts on file. ISBN 9780816062591.